The content and opinions shared on Talking Randomish are intended for entertainment and informational purposes. They reflect the personal views of the host and guests and do not constitute professional advice or represent any affiliated organization.
We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random.
Welcome back to Barbershop Talking Random-ish. I am the elder.
Now the backstory behind that is we were talking on Men's Health. We had a young fella in him.
Mm-hmm.
20. Well, how old Malachi? 21.
20. It might be 20.
He might be 20 with his papers in order. Okay. and we mentor him, and he called the master barber an elder.
I was gonna say he started clowning.
He meant it with all respect. He did it with all respect.
He didn't say OG or old head.
He didn't say old head. He said elder.
I can't get on because
He went from he didn't get unk status. He passed that elder.
No unk, no OG, none of that shit.
You know, elder passed pawpaw. Elders passed.
Yeah, you out there sharecropping up. You sharecropping up.
I guess so, yeah.
Hey, that young man he got the home training.
He did. He put all the respect on
That man got you singing waiting on your order.
We all froze.
Like, yo, what?
Hell.
Why?
But yes, so we are back in the barbershop and celebrating Black Music Month. Also, Juneteenth. Happy free-ish day. But I got my DJs in the building, man, and just basically going over their life as DJs, how they got started as DJs, and I want to hit them with this question: this DJing game has changed.
Shit, yeah.
Everybody got an iPod or something, and it seems like it's more of a curation of sound instead of a DJ set. Are y'all curators of sound, or do y'all
Curators.
DJ?
Hold on.
Huh?
You been in your thesaurus lately? Hold on.
And the elder used that word. Right? The elder was. Hey, yo, he rehearsed that shit.
I'm like, hey, sis, you got that question wrote down.
Man rehearsed that shit, yo.
Curator.
I want to jump on this.
He got it written down somewhere. Where you got it written down? How you spell curate? Spell curate for me.
Tell him
Ain't no.
It should sound good, though, right?
Yes, sir.
I definitely want to jump on this. Are we curators?
What's the definition of a fucking curator?
Yeah.
Give me that. What's the definition? Somebody look it up.
It's kind of like, I'm not looking it up yet, but I was actually going to use the word to describe myself because, to me, a curator is somebody who very intentionally collects and archives things for specific reasons, right?
Okay.
To me, it's similar. It overlaps with collector, but collectors can just be like, I need every catalog number of this record label that came out in these years, right? And the curator is more like
Selective.
which part is really culturally significant here, and I'm gonna make sure I have that and preserve it, and so I can play it when the time needs. So I see curator in a
Not a negative light?
not a negative light.
I got you.
I can respect that because of your style.
What was the other? Curator or what?
Or you what the old school, our definition of a DJ in a party? Because to me, you got a lot of people, like I say, going up there, taking their iPhones, their iPod, plugging it in and hitting play.
So I wouldn't say a curator. I was like a playlist DJ out, because you got a lot of playlist DJs, but then you got DJs.
So going back, curator, you can say we are curators because we got to get a set together for a specific event we doing, right? We curate the event, so you got to know your crowd. What's your demo? All right, what you got tonight? So we curating that. Going back to your definition of what you do. But a playlist DJ don't give a fuck. He's just gonna fucking grab the hottest shit that's out right now.
But this is something that we used to say
back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
We're tastemakers.
Yeah.
We're not putting together a bunch of songs and hoping that you enjoy them. We're playing songs that is relevant. We're playing songs that have been forgotten about.
Yeah.
We're playing songs that you never heard. So it's almost like I'm taking you on a journey.
That's curating, though.
True. But like you said, the difference is I'm not just, like you said, you can collect a bunch of junk. But if you're selecting.
It's more customized.
Exactly. And you're being very strategic in what you're giving to the audience. Like, you can take anyone and put them in your car, but a person who is a limo driver have perfected, I'm going to take you over here. You may have never seen this part of town. And
but
let me give you the story of this.
So that's like what they call the person that's in the museum. Basically, curator.
Yes.
You're a curator, basically. So it's apples or oranges. So I wouldn't say that.
Okay, well, let me ask you a better question.
Yeah.
The playlist DJ who comes in, plug up his phone, hit play, and don't get a feel of the crowd, nothing. They just playing when they 15.
That ain't me.
How do you feel? My question is, how do you feel about that? Because there's a lot of that going on.
I'm not gonna be that old head that yell at the clouds. I'm not gonna knock nobody hustle, but that's just not me. You know what I mean? If that's how you get your money and grind like that, that's not me. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be better than you. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say because I know my crowd. I know how to work the crowd and everything. I'm not just pressing play on the playlist. So that's just me. But I'm not gonna knock that hustle though.
There's a market for it.
Yeah, exactly.
If it wasn't, they wouldn't make money on it.
Yeah.
There's a market for it.
Exactly.
I would piggyback off the man.
Now, back in the day, I should be pissed. You know, we should talk now. We should talk.
We
But
have had some conversations.
Yeah, I'm older now. Fuck them. Let them get that money to do me. I'm gonna stay in my lane and do what I do. Yeah.
Like you said, I'm not gonna come from a space of, it's trash, it's hate. But at the same time, DJing is more than just you playing your favorite records. And for me, what irritates me is when I see people step on the culture. When I see someone put DJ in front of their name, think about all of the people before you that by you not even attempting to put some effort into this thing that you call DJing, you want to be associated in the same light as a Cool Herc, a curator, Jazzy Jeff, by just taking and waking up one morning and saying, I got a Spotify account and I can put DJ in front of my name, and even make it on a smaller scale. You have a passion and love for DJing. I would much rather see you get those gigs, or you get those gigs, or I get those gigs, than to show up to a spot and somebody is charging to get in to hear somebody just play a playlist. So for me, I don't mind, like you said, it's space for however you decide to paint your portrait, but at least respect the craft and the culture. This stuff is all tied together. You got your graffiti artists, you got your breakdancers, you got your MCs, you got your DJs, and that stuff is a collective group of people that pioneered this thing that we are a part of and we love. So for you not to take it serious, like I don't even like to put the letter DJ in front of my name because I still feel like I'm growing and trying to learn how to do this thing. So for me, when I see somebody just, I'm a DJ now, or I'm a celebrity DJ, without putting forth that effort or having that same passion and love for it, it's a little on the disrespectful side. If you want to play your playlist or whatever,
Piggyback off because I got some I want.
if you want to play your playlist and do your parties, like Chief said, I'm not mad at you, do your thing.
Yeah.
But calling yourself a DJ without knowing or caring about the culture, because a lot of people that I see doing that, they don't show up to the events that he's doing with mine too. They don't show up to any hip hop events. They don't know anything about break dancing, electric boogaloo.
I don't even know the samples like we just talked about.
Exactly. So for me, it's just, if you're gonna be a part of this thing, be a part of it because it's dope.
Yes.
So I'm gonna piggyback off of him before you go. And one other reason why I say I'm not gonna hate, because a lot of people hate us and what we do. When I say us, the Serato DJs. You got a lot of purists out there that only fuck with vinyl and look down on the DJs that's out here now. And it's like, that's fucked up. You know, if you about the culture like you talked about and love doing it, shit, there's other ways you can do it. Technology, you gotta grow. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Technology is there, you know.
And Judge Jeff is one of the biggest advocates for technology in DJing, and he's
But just going back to that, that's why I say I would never hate, because I got hate coming up because I didn't have vinyl. You know what I'm saying? But I got vinyl, but I chose to stick with what I do, the Serato way, the digital way, the DVS way. So I would never hate on anybody else, but that's not how I do it. You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, you put forward the effort and
it's culture.
to be a part of that and not just look at it from just a money making aspect. Because you can, I love painting.
Yeah.
Don't make you a painter.
Thank you.
Exactly.
That's all.
So if I were to add, like, it seems you have some DJs who do what they do because of love and it's an artistic expression. Then you got other DJs where it's much more just functional. It's to get paid or to get money or just to look cool up there, right?
And the women, you know, or the ladies, you know, regardless.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a difference, and maybe that line is hazy sometimes. Then the other thing I want to speak of is what you were talking about, the digital DJing, because I still haven't really gotten into that side. Now, I know if I ever wanted to try to make this a career, like actually make money, I would have to. But I see it, you're right, you can't hate on technology just because it advances, right? Part of me wants to sometimes, but it's dumb. It's dumb. It's like when you see what Jazzy Jeff can do with it, because we brought him up, right? It's just a tool to advance the art further. There are things you can do with that you can't do with vinyl. And so, like, if you're just using it as a tool to advance the art, that's amazing. Now, the downside of it is it's opened the door wide for all
everybody say I'm a DJ.
All these wannabe, right?
Yeah,
because now they don't know
They don't know analog.
anything about the music. They don't need to know anything about the feel of vinyl and records. Because it's too easy. It's opened the door, and I mean that's just the way it is. I'm not going to cry and complain about it, but
and it's like with AI now, ChatGPT, AI now. I work in IT. That's my job, and got a lot of cats that I know now that's out of jobs because AI is taking over a lot of the coding and all of that. You don't need developers or coding anymore because they can just drop in ChatGPT, how to do this and do that. So that's the curse with that, the gift and the curse with everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
So let me ask you that then, because you bring up a very interesting point. Because I love the culture, I love music, I write. As used to MC back in the days,
He's the jack of all trades over here, bro.
I am him. I don't brag off, but that's like me. I am him. I am him. So, but my question is, and I feel like you feel, it's disrespectful to just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yes.
And the fact that it has become easier, do you think that's a bad thing? Because I would my dad DJ'd before he died, and I have his track recorders, his reel to reels, his big speakers that he used to take and do take and do parties before he died, And I would love to get back into it, and it's easier to do. I would never call myself a DJ,
Yeah.
but it would be something that I would do for my enjoyment.
Yes.
So let me ask you, your man's want to get into DJing. Do you think he's gonna be fucking wrong with the culture? Because all he's gonna be using, he's not gonna be using vinyl.
No, I don't think anything's wrong with the culture. I don't. That's what I'm asking
wrong
you.
with it. No.
I'm asking your opinion because, like I said, I think a lot of people gatekeep the culture, and
You don't think? And gatekeeping is, to me, is good.
gatekeep it to an
Yeah.
extent.
Yeah.
Gatekeep it to an extent.
That's why we got lawsuits right now going out for disses. So we need some gatekeeping in the culture.
Gatekeep it to an extent is good, but my question is, if it's easier, and I do it, does it not bring more people to the culture, or is the point not to have anyone in the culture? Because that's always been my question. Because like I said, I MC, and I've done shows, and I get with these my hardcore brothers from up north. Well, this from the Bronx, this from the culture. You don't get to gatekeep the culture just because it's from your area.
So can I,
Go ahead, chime in. Yeah, I'll be quiet.
I don't feel like we're saying
No,
there's no space.
No, I'm not insinuating it. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
So because we have talked back and forth about this, and never once have I been like, but man, you're not trying to do it for the right reason.
Right.
He's never said his reason for wanting to DJ other than the love of music.
Right.
So for all I know, he could just be sitting up at the house and just doing his thing. Are we truly bringing people to the culture though if they don't care about the culture to begin with?
That's the question.
So for me, what I see a lot of time, because when I first started, I didn't, and I still at times like I'm not a DJ.
Right.
I'm learning. So I never, when I approached him or when I approached my homeboy DJ Diesel, it wasn't from this space that I'm on their level.
Right.
It was, I'm coming in wanting to be a part of something. And what I see a lot of now is, I don't need your permission. I don't need to know anything about this situation. This is just something that I find to be cool and fun. It would be like Eminem going into the rap game and not really caring about Eric B and Rakim or LL Cool J or any of those greats before him. He stepped into the game with a mindset that I want to be a part of this.
But that's my point. We have MCs that step into the game with no respect for the culture. I'm not gonna call them out. Multi-platinum artists.
Yes.
That have no respect.
But it
for
goes
the
back
culture.
to what you just said. A lot of the old heads that want to gatekeep and tell them, nah, you got to learn this because they still wanted to be relevant.
Right.
They wanted to be cool and relevant. So a lot of the old heads that was in the culture, shit, I want to be on this album and get up. So that's the part with gatekeeping. She come in and be like, no, you got to learn. If you don't know, what's that saying? If you don't know where you come from, yeah,
you know where you come from. How you don't know where you go.
And two, when I first started, and I was fresh out the gate, it was plenty of time that he would be like, yo, no, like, and it wasn't me going, man, you can't tell me what to do. No, that was someone before me put me in a position so that I can go out here and be the best that I can be.
But there's a lot of ego in hip hop. We got a lot of bravado, ego in hip hop.
Hip hop started with ego.
Yeah.
I'm the best. Hip hop.
Nothing wrong with that, but when you don't want to learn to take constructive criticism, that's when the downfall comes at. You know what I'm
But
saying?
the more we water it down, it get to a point where one day somebody gonna look at a Jazzy Jeff and be like,
no, they're not even gonna look at Jazzy Jeff. They'll look at somebody else.
Right. And yeah.
So
not knowing the Trap Pickles or the Executioners and knowing that. They'll look at everybody else and be like, yo, nah.
I
so
think
that's why you got to gatekeep and always praise these guys' names.
The best analogy I heard, and I'm not a fan of, but I'm gonna call it out, was we loved raunchy rap until we got a sexy red. And then it became too much. And that's how I feel about the culture sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
We need to be kept to a certain extent, just not exclusive because everybody should have an opportunity, but it needs to be treated and tendered with respect.
Now let me ask you this, because we grew up on Little Kim.
Oh yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? So all it is, we don't have a balance right now.
we don't.
That's what we don't have.
But
I'm not
say
gonna
this.
say, because we listen to Fox and Lil Kim.
Yeah,
All of them. you
True
know?
Live Crew.
Yeah.
Uncle Luke.
So I'm not mad at that.
I'm not
mad at
but that's the
Sexy
thing.
Red.
I'm not mad at any
Yeah.
of it because
Yeah.
there's different genres. There's
Let her
different.
do her thing.
every-
You know what I mean?
The bag is there. There's a market for it.
Yeah.
There's a market for it, but it's all not positive for the culture.
Well, that's what we. But there's positive hip hop out there, but it's just not
It is.
mainstream.
It is.
So we can't just, point out Sexy Red and say she's
No,
wrong.
that was what that was just the exact. That's the quote I heard.
Yeah,
it wasn't from me.
Whoever said that
But-
was wrong. You know what I'm
but-
saying?
but
Like, yo,
it's-
we had our raunchy shit. You know what I mean?
We all had our raunchy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But-
we just older now, but we can't be these old heads yelling at the clouds saying you're wrong.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. That's why I say we gatekeep to a certain extent.
But that's where we get gatekeep, and that's when the other artists got to come out and do something different and balance.
You can do something different, but you still have to be paid for it. No, unfortunately.
Hold on. So, if you're doing it for the culture, the money gonna come. If you're good, the payment gonna come. You gotta do it because you love it. That's just me how I point it out. That's how I DJ. I do it because I love it. I'm not gonna go out there and just do it because hey, I get paid for it. So you saying the artists don't want to do music now because they're not getting paid? The new artists?
Most of the new artists, yeah.
Well, that's why we got to gatekeep and say no.
Most of the new artists, yeah. Because if the opportunity is there, if the opportunity is not to make money, because they've said it. They've said it. What they said it.
Yeah,
Well, I can't fuck with them then.
yeah. It's a few people that would tell you right out the gate that I'm not in it for the culture or
I mean, you
or what have
can. I mean, and you can see that by how they rap or anything like that.
But I would say this here. This is what I live by, and this is what I used to kind of repeat and say to myself before I would do a gig or whatever. And I quote my man Lupe: "If you are who you say you are, then have no fear."
There it is.
So
Superstar.
at the end of the day,
That's my boy.
I'm not.
Shout out to Montu.
Underrated though. One thing I co-signed on Montu with
Sky said.
Don't get him started, yo.
It's not coming from a place of shade or gatekeeping from a standpoint of you can't be a part of this. But if you're gonna be a part of it, if you're gonna jump in the hustle or the wobble, then learn to do the wobble.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Because you're going to get called out. We know you fake. You can't wobble.
Exactly. So if you are who you say you are, then have no fear.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm sure at any point in time, if he's doing a gig, we'll show up and show love.
Oh, yeah. That's how it's supposed to be.
If he's doing a gig, show up and show love.
And that's one thing final point for me. That's one thing I didn't like about the culture here. The DJs, and we talked about this. I was like, yo, there's no DJ culture.
No.
We should be like gigging at each other's apartment on a Sunday, like the Pickles and all them back in the day, man. I don't know if nobody want to do it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, yo, but that's all, man. Let me get off my soapbox.
So, equipment.
Okay.
What do you use? And I want you to go last for a specific reason.
I started off with some Newmarks and a Rain mixer. Ooh, the Rain 57 back in the day. Old Rain mixer. I still got those Newmarks, and I still use them. Right now, I have I had the Rain 70. I ain't used that from work too much. I got the Rain 70.
Now,
I got
explain.
The Rain 70 is a mixer created by. Back in the day, it was Serato owned the company, and Serato was with them.
Yeah.
So Rain is a company out of Switzerland. Are they still out of Switzerland, I want to say. So it's a mixer, the Rain 70. So right now I have a Pioneer S11. Then I have the Rain MKs. And I got tired of lugging everything around with all those, man. So let me get a controller. So I got a controller probably about 2 years ago. So I have a Rain 4 controller. So I got like kind of 3 setups.
He's like Mr. Gadget.
Yeah.
Go Gadget.
Yeah, I
Like,
like
every
to-
time
yeah,
I talk to him, he's like,
Yeah,
man,
I collect a lot of stuff, man. Like, yeah. But I had to, scale back on that, financial reasons. Like, everything that come out, I was buying. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me grab this, let me grab that. So I had to scale back. So, if I got like a small gig, the end, I take my Ring controller out. If I got a big gig, I want to show out. Like this weekend after this, I take my mixer, the Pioneer, and the turntables out this weekend. Shameless plug, after this weekend, I'll be at the Georgia Theater tomorrow.
All right, so you on the Georgia Theater?
Yeah, the rooftop tomorrow. We at the Georgia Theater rooftop.
What time you spending?
I got like 3. I start off at maybe 8, I think. You can look it up. I ain't on social media, but you can look at AFFest, and they got the itinerary up there. But also, Nappy Roots will be downstairs. Then Saturday, I'm DJing for Low Down and Dirty, which is one of the greatest groups out of Georgia.
So
Bubba Sparks going.
Low Down and Dirty.
Yeah,
They can again. So
Yes.
we all used to rap together.
Yeah.
They were poetic players back in the day.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so they used to rap. They used to come to the dome. We call it the dome. And it's funny to me now, being an elder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when are we talking about?
Being an elder.
What year? Yeah, what year?
93, 94, 95, 96.
Okay. Yeah, right in that time frame. And we do shows, and they come and they were like, Big L, Hyde.
So yeah, what was your DJ name? I mean, your rapper name. My bad.
Big L or Mr. Hyde, because I could flip style, so it was like Jekyll and Hyde. So they were like, hey, check this out, and they write.
So you older than them a little bit?
Oh, way over.
Yeah. Okay.
They're my little cousins.
Yeah. Okay. So you the elder.
Yeah, I'm their elder. So it's funny how it's full circle.
Yeah, 360, right?
360, and I tell them all the time that they my little cousins.
So let me ask them real quick. I know you want to get there.
Yeah.
Who was we're talking music and hip hop? Who was your inspirations for rhyming and shit like that? Because everybody got somebody that they, take after. I know we got that. I'm sorry.
No.
So who was your inspiration? Like,
well, to be honest with you, it'd be Boogie Down Productions.
Yes, sir.
KRS-One was just his style, his flow, and the way he used words.
Yeah.
And Rakim when he came out, but KRS-One was my top for me when I was first got into rhyming.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I pick up music, and I loved my boy Dougie Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And Slick Rick, because I think Slick Rick was a great storyteller.
Yeah, the top is storyteller.
Yes, and that's
matter of fact, he just dropped the album.
And that was my thing. I just the ability to manipulate words.
Yeah.
And just it. That
so
was
would you like country, conscious?
Not it wasn't conscious. It was just hip. It was just hip hop.
Okay.
Whatever was going on, we were actually all over the place.
Yeah.
We actually put.
So did you take root with him?
He was my dancer. He was my dancer. You ought to see it.
He quiet over there. He ain't said nothing.
We opened up for with my boy MC Shay Short Shorts.
Yeah.
We opened up when Diggle Planets came to Athens.
Y'all got culture in this bitch, He quiet over there though.
Like I said.
So you was like Scoob and Big Daddy Kane.
That's him right now. That's him right now. But that's why I always talk about the culture, because it was knee deep in what we really got to do in shows, and up in Atlanta, and we were promoting stuff, trying to do stuff with Organized Noise and Outkast and all them before they got really big, and it was, you just get. It was just, I did it for the love.
Yeah.
I did it for the culture because I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
My
loved
bad.
it. No, that's all right. That's all right. But that's why I asked the questions, because I always got that question. So you can't keep it. No, I said I never want to keep it from anybody.
Yeah.
But I want you to respect it.
You don't have to keep it, but you should protect it.
Oh, I always protect it.
Yes,
I
sir.
always protect it because I always ask them, what are you in it for?
Yeah.
What are you doing it for?
Like we can really gatekeep
Yeah,
anything.
you can't.
People
You
gonna do
can't.
the
You
thing.
know, like I said, I never want to be the old man yelling in class.
Yeah.
But why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you think you're gonna get paid, or you doing it because you love to do it? Because if you love to do it, eventually the pay gonna come.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Exactly. That's what I said.
exactly.
Everybody real recognize real.
What you using?
I'm like him. I'm somewhat of a gadget guy. If I'm doing a small show, I have a little small controller in which I may here soon in the future be investing in something else. But if I'm really trying to rock out, man, I have my Rain 70, and I have two Denon, which is kind of under the same umbrella as Rain, and I look at that as being kind of like my Lucille, you know, like B.B. King when he's on stage, he got Lucille.
Yes, sir.
When I know that I'm in a situation where I got to crack the earth, I'm pulling out my Rain 70 and those Denon, and I'm blacking out, trying to go to another place. So, yeah, for me it almost like you connected to it. When I got all my loops and cues and echoes and everything, and I got the paddle switches on it, so I can play with the paddles almost like I'm playing the guitar. And it's no greater feeling, man, when you up there being able to do that and just see people stop and look and be like, wait a minute,
bro.
What just
That's a
happened?
half for me.
Yeah.
Like it is I never forget this girl that I dated back in the day when I first like
You paused. Though.
yeah.
Hey,
You had a
Hey,
pause.
you know she watching,
Boy,
listening.
he just paused. He goes, no. He said, this girl
I would say that though.
He switched that up.
Yeah,
quick.
say right.
I would say this though. I kind of credit her because we was hanging out, and she was like, "I'm going to take you somewhere," and we go to the Guitar Center in Atlanta, and I'm in there, and they got the big boy set up at the time. Like it was no controller, nothing like that. It was a big boy, and I'm in there, and I'm playing around with it. And the more I play around with it, the more I can just feel this thing, and like she's looking at me, and she was like, "Yeah, if you ever finally get some equipment or whatever, like I know I'm never gonna see you again." You know, and at the time, man, I'm like LL Cool J, like I'm in love, like man, and I'm like, this is a thing.
Don't tell me you ghosted her.
Nah, but this is what happened though.
This is see what happened.
This is what happened though. In the midst of being in there and I'm playing around, with this and trying to like.
Let's get the story. What happened with it?
This older cat or this dude come in who was like a DJ,
Yeah.
and he had his mans with him, and he come over there, dude, and he jumped on it and he started just cutting it up and doing things. And I felt bad because I'm like, man, my girl was loving what I was doing.
You just in there blending up.
But what that did, that made me say, and to this day, I still be like, you know what? If I ever run across that dude again,
Yes, sir. Got something for him.
who's the master?
Yes, sir.
Yo, what happened to Shorty though? What happened to Shorty?
I mean, we brought for a minute.
As soon as I got that equipment,
I got some equipment in.
tied there with what it used to be.
Now, before you go, me and Damon, about 5-6 years ago, got to see Diamond D.
Yeah, that's what you do. That's my guy. I know that. Yeah,
And he pulled out the 45.
Yeah.
And my God, what equipment do you use?
All right, so I still got my two Technique 1200s that I got in '98, and so that's what I use. And then I had an old mixer. I think it was a
Vested?
Newmark.
Newmark.
I used to have a Vestax mix stick, the little skinny one.
Yeah.
But I dusted that thing off when I started getting back into this a couple years ago, and it was gone. So now I have a Pioneer S5. Just keeping it simple. But it's too simple because I want some of those onboard effects.
Yeah.
I don't have any of those. That really helps with the transition, especially with those old Funk 45s.
Yeah.
It's hard to make smooth blends all the time, man. You get a little echo in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, right now in S5, I'm looking to get something with onboard effects at some point when I can.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, Diamond is our guy, man. Cause Cut, you know, he DJ'd with me. He's like, yo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got Cut that we always talk about. Yeah, they went on tour together in Japan.
Yeah,
and speaking of the
Oh,
techniques,
shoot.
yeah, speaking of the techniques, you know, fucking a couple of years ago, the factory. So you got some good shit, some antique shit, good shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been trying to look for some. You can't find them, man. Right now, everybody using the Pioneer. Was it the R reloop or some shit like that? Yeah, the reloops, because Techniques ain't making them no more because the factory burnt down. So
There were, at the last Athens record show, somebody was selling
How
an
much?
MK2, and they were like around 400 or 500 a piece.
just for the 1200s.
Yeah. Now they look,
Damn.
they had some wear on.
Oh, okay,
I don't know if it was the surface or if they're, you know, I didn't test them out.
Yeah. Okay.
When y'all are doing the show, how do you go about reading the crowd and deciding on the next song? And when you go into the next song, how are you dumbing down the speed or picking up the speed for the blend, or is, what's your?
So it goes back to me. You mind me and take over? It goes back to me was, so when I first started, I used to like, get a set together. Like, boom, boom, I'm gonna play this song first, this song second, this song third. Then I got the DJ and it was like, ain't nobody. It doesn't feel right with the crowd. Because you go in the crowd, you may have a younger crowd, you may have an older crowd.
Right.
So what I usually do, this is me, and going back to what I said earlier, I kind of feel the crowd. I got what I'm going. Okay, they drunk. You get them going a little bit. They drunk a little bit. All right, be good. It goes by the BPM too. So okay, they want to dance a little bit and that. So you just got to feel the crowd. I don't know how to explain it, but as a DJ, you just know how to feel your crowd since I've been doing it. So right now, when I'm going in, so like I got this Azfest set, so I know it's hip hop. So I know I'm gonna play these specific songs during my set, but I'm not gonna play them in this specific order.
Okay.
So you may go to a crowd or go to a set, and you only got one person there. Ain't nobody gonna listen to Pharoah Monch. What the fuck? Know what Simon Says?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody there. Don't throw their hands up. You know what I mean? So you just gotta know.
You and the sound guy.
Yeah. You just gotta know how to do it. You know what I mean? That's how I do it.
You have to be able to adjust.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, just
Like he was saying. Personally, what I would do, I sit down and I think about the event, and I set a few songs in a crate.
Yeah.
To be like, these would be some of my go-tos if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like a spider building a spider web. You're gonna start like here, and it's gonna spread itself out. So that song by, SWV may touch a song like way later down on your list that you can loop in. But I have had a whole entire playlist played out, rehearsed, mixed down,
Scratch that shit,
the whole
right?
9 yards. Just got it where it's like, man, this is gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
And show up, and like you said, it'll be like a wedding group of walk in, and it's just like throw that in the trash. So you have to be able to adjust on the fly, and you may play a song and you see somebody tap their feet or wiggle their fingers to the beat or whatever. So you say, oh, okay. If you like, Jay-Z, and Mary Can't Knock the Hustle, I'm gonna piggyback off of that and play something that's relative to
that
that
era.
style.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been time that we have been doing parties, and you have a crowd in there that is, like you said, sorority, fraternity, and next thing you know, you got 20 people run through the door from across the street that was at a wedding.
Yeah. Now going back to what you said, piggyback. When I do my weddings though, I get with the people in the wedding.
Yeah.
And like, what songs specifically do you want to hear? So I know what to put in there. So that's how I do my weddings. And they was like, give me your set list that you want me to play, because I do it like that. and I'll be like, yo, you know, the groom dance, the the mother, you know. So the wedding's a lot more structured than just the rocking the party.
Yes.
So the wedding's a lot more easier than rocking the party, because rocking the party, shit, you don't know, you can go from day to night rocking the party. At a wedding, you know what you're doing. Then once the reception kick in, okay, I can throw this in there because it matches what they wanted as well with the BPM. You know what I mean? You know, so that's how I do it. But so corporate events and weddings are totally different from rocking the party.
One thing that I would say, man, I'm just gonna throw this out into the universe because I feel like it was something that we was kind of building and COVID kind of killed it.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're not having like a DJ day, like where open up downtown Athens or open up Athens.
But we talked about this. Athens, they just want to play the playlist.
Yes.
Because it's easier for them not to pay the DJs.
Yes.
Then also a lot of the new DJs coming in, that's another shit that's happened as well. They say, yo, I DJ for $100.
Yes.
It's fucking up the game for us
Exactly.
because when we DJ, we got to actually curate, like we just talked about earlier, a fucking set.
Yes.
We may not play that set, but we know we'll be going at it. So it's fucking up the whole game because nobody want to pay DJs. They just say, yo, I can play my Spotify list and all that. We don't need you. When in fact, the DJ is a lot better. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got a lot of DJs undercutting. Stop that fuck shit. You know what I mean? Taking $150 and do 6 hours.
And the fact where you can have like a whole weekend show of like bands playing in Athens or whatever.
Yeah.
But you tell me that we can't do a block party downtown where you can let DJs, whether it's spinning 45s or whatever, get an opportunity to really rock out with all of these spaces, because it feels like now there's not enough space for people to actually perform and display their art in town anymore. Like if you don't really have that inside lane, you're almost at the mercy, like he said, of somebody playing a Spotify playlist, or they have a friend that'll do it for a bar tab and $100.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you don't hear about us having like
a DJ day out.
Yes,
like
our own thing.
They got a DJ day out in Atlanta.
Just think about it. We have like, Mahogany in town, and so on and so on. All these people, like our buddy Cut, would come into town and DJ with us, but it's hard to have somebody to drive 6 hours.
Only for $150.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you gotta be like, well, man, I don't know when the next time we're gonna, you don't have resident DJs. We got 100 bars with no resident DJs.
No, I got one. I ain't gonna lie. I'm at Paloma.
Well, yeah, your situation.
I'm at Paloma. Shameless plug. Football season coming up, so I'm at Paloma. So I'm there.
We have one resident DJ and all of that.
I mean, I'm hearing the same story from kind of another side of DJs here, saying bars don't want to pay DJs.
Yeah.
Kids ain't wanting to pay covers to go here.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna DJ, then it's got to be the top 40, the latest.
Yes.
Latest whatever.
But just think about it though. Talking about curating or building a sound or whatever, whether you play it or not. Even if you're just going off of your dome, like just improvising. To do we would normally do about like a 6 hour or
We started at 8, 9, and get done about 11 and 12.
Yeah, well, at the time we were going out like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 2 in the morning. We had to split the tab.
Do you? And not only that, just think about the amount of music that you're having to dig through to do this.
Yeah.
So just think about it. You have to load up your equipment. You have to, download the music. Make sure you got the latest tracks, because somebody bound to ask for some,
Bad Bunny. Bunny.
Yes, sir. You put all that prep work in.
Yeah.
You load up your equipment. You got it set up. You go through doing all of that, and then you're on your feet and you're DJing for 6, 7, 8 hours. It's a lot that goes into this game, into this what we love, for it not to be.
But you know, they're not used to seeing it because they're used to hitting play on Spotify.
Yeah, that's true.
And keep it moving. So yeah.
So how do you feel about the open format? Hey, can you play? Can you play?
It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, it is.
Because I absolutely love it at times.
Yeah.
I will honestly say for me, I love it when I'm able to have someone else that can carry, like, he would play a lot more like hip hop records. So that would open me up to play a lot more like R&B, you know, alternative records. Like I would slash up like some Kurt Cobain or you know, Led Zeppelin or whatever and throw it over top of like a hip hop track. But it allows me to do that because I know he's going to probably cover a lot of the stuff that I'm not gonna touch.
The pop, get him going, then he'll come in and we'll come out and kind of do it. So for me tomorrow, I'm not playing no fucking pop because it's a hip hop show, so it's not open genre.
Yeah.
So it's all gonna be Griselda, gonna be some hip hop shit.
What time Griselda going on?
Oh, I mean, Griselda going on early. You know what I mean? It's gonna be Freddie Gibb. We playing hip hop. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I do it. I'm not playing no pop shit tomorrow.
Okay.
So don't come looking for pop shit at Afterfest with DJ Chief Rocker tomorrow.
The crazy thing for me though is, in my mind, regardless of the genre of music I'm listening to, it's all hip hop to me.
Oh yeah.
If that kind of makes sense. Like the way that I hear music and the way that I grew up listening to music, to me, it's just like Led Zeppelin is no different than Onyx. So it's easy for me to mix and blend those different genres of music because to me it's all.
Led Zeppelin, that's how it started in the day. Yeah.
They didn't have hip hop records to start hip hop.
Absolutely.
Hip hop was based on rap records, funk records, jazz records, everything else.
Absolutely. Last question: How did y'all get y'all name?
I'll let y'all go. Because I've been taking
So 30 years ago, whatever, I was really more into making beats and producing than I was in DJing.
Okay.
And I just took the name Rabbi. I thought it sounded cool and studious. You know what I'm saying? But then I quickly had to put something else on it. So I was Beat Rabbi back in the day when it was. So when I kind of dusted off everything and started again a couple of years ago, I'm like Beat Rabbi. But again, I was focusing more on the breaking crowd and bringing those 70s funk tracks to the. And so that's when I just changed the beat to break. So that's dope.
You like breaking rap.
Yeah.
My situation, man, is simple. The movie Juice.
Cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a DJ, right?
Yeah.
Seeing him get up there and do his thing, and his personality in that movie, kind of a lot similar to mine. So growing up with a name that I didn't particularly care for as a kid growing up, my friends just started gravitating toward calling me Q because they was like, you look like that dude from the movie Juice.
Yeah, what's that name though? You want to tell us that name you didn't like?
Q. No, what's the name?
Courtney. So like growing up as a little kid in the country where like only girls was Courtney. So like to me, I was like, man,
I think it's cool.
Now it works for me, but back then it wasn't so back then.
Yes, Lord.
But
Not back then.
you know, just growing up and playing sports and what have you, and you know, my buddy was like, it's just easier for us to call you Cuban. Paying homage to the movie Juice,
Yes, sir.
DJ GQ and Omar Epps.
Yeah.
I rock with it.
So my shit is easy, man. I grew up playing in the hood basketball, right? I couldn't play basketball for shit. I was all was a motherfucker to get rebounds. So my team was the Celtics. Robert Parrish used to call him Chief.
Yeah.
Yo, so I'm like, yo, Chief. So everybody knew me in the hood as Chief. Call me in the hood. Now I go back to this day, Chief. Also, bringing it full circle with hip hop, Laws and Underground. Yeah, DJ Chief. I know that song verbatim, so easy, Chief Rocker, Chief.
That's what I thought.
And I rock the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I'm a crowd. I rock the crowd.
Hey, I think I messed him up when I first DJ'd with him because I did this mix with the song Chief Rocker.
Yeah.
And he was like, turned and looked over at me, and I was like, hey, man, you know, you gave me an opportunity, so I had to pay some respect.
Yeah, Laws and Underground. Yeah, so that's Chief Rocker. Yeah.
Okay. Hey man, I appreciate y'all, man.
Yo,
Appreciate
thank
you.
you for having us, man. Yeah,
And shout out your
social media.
social medias. I know you ain't on, but
Well, I shout it out. I'm doing a little purge now. I do a
Yeah.
purge, for, every year. But I'll be back on maybe August. It's DJ_Chief Rocker, CHIEFROCKA on IG and on Facebook and on Twitter. I don't have a TikTok and nothing like that. So that's me.
And you also your Mixcloud.
Oh yeah, my Mixcloud. Yeah, I got a Mixcloud and the SoundCloud. Thank you for reminding me of that. It's the same thing, DJ_Chief Rocker. I do my mixes and I upload them there. I've been doing it for years, so you can hear some old shit when I sound garbage. Transitions was garbage. Then you'll see the new shit as it progresses, and it's dope. You know what I mean? I think the last one I dropped was in February. It was like an R&B 90s mix, for the lovers.
So,
SoundCloud?
Yeah, Mixcloud and
Mixcloud.
SoundCloud.
Yeah. He got one with the breakup boy.
Oh yeah,
So I got Joe Budden.
yeah. I get big now. I'm a hip hop head.
Yeah.
Yo, you can catch me on Instagram, DJ_Q23. I just keep it on IG, but I will be down June 28th at Lil King's doing a summer rock party type deal, get people out grooving for the summertime. No telling what you'll hear from me. But I'll be there June the 28th from 7 to 12, so come check me out.
Right on. Instagram, just Break Rabbi, at Break Rabbi, BREAKRABBI.
Okay. Where your mixes at? Where can we hear your mixes in?
Oh yeah, I guess so. I have a YouTube channel that's also Break Rabbi. So
Okay.
That's where they find stuff. Some that I did more multi-track, like that James Brown's more of a multi-track mix, and then some that are just straight from the turntables. But
Okay.
It's kind of a mixture of stuff on there.
This was dope.
Hey man, I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, the DJ, we don't love the DJ like we should.
Ain't no party without the DJ.
Exactly.
We the engine. That's like the engine in the car. You know what I'm saying?
And I just
hop without the
say it again. Say it loud for the man.
without the DJ.
Yes,
Facts.
sir.
Yeah.
And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate what y'all do. Like I say, I have sat and just watched and get mesmerized at how y'all control the party. So being a DJ is probably still one of them things that the people that I look up to. I look up to the DJ.
Yeah, we gonna get you out there. You know what I mean? You got your controller now. Let's go.
I got I'm working on my wikis and yes sir.
I think I got to work on something for Black Lassie.
Black Lassie.
I knew from the moment we
I
Boy,
got
I'm teary-eyed.
I got you.
Boy, I'm looking forward to it.
We're gonna bring her home and we're gonna have her own theme song.
See? You see that?
I see.
You see?
That's how you're supposed to do, right?
That's how you're supposed to be for your boy.
I got
That's
you.
how you're supposed to be for your boy.
Yeah, we're gonna have Black Lassie two-step.
Yes, sir.
But we gonna try to the side. I can see it. I can see it, boy. I can see it, baby.
Black Lassie.
Hey, the next MLK parade.
Yes, sir. Go pull
out there.
Go pull up on Black Lassie.
Hot corner out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Black Lassie.
I told him everybody else gonna be at the pool with the golf cart. I'm gonna pull up on Black Lassie, put it right there, go boop boop. I'm gonna low jack the horse.
If you want to ride.
Yes, sir.
You got to ride the black horse.
Well, y'all were cool. Hey man, it's about that time. This game called life is a series of moments. The past is just that. The past, learn from it and be thankful for it. The future, prepare for it, is coming. Let's get to the next one. The present, it is a gift. enjoy the journey, take pictures, but most importantly, thank God. Hey man, it's time to sweep the floor. We're gonna clean these clippers.
Well, I'll take us out one.
Okay,
I'll take us out one. Let's do Brother to the Cosmos.
Let's go.
I take flight at night while the moon is full, breezing by planets avoiding a gravitational pull. Giving high fives to the man on the moon, and he's telling me to sit a spell, rest my tail. It'll all be over soon. Let the beauty of the darkness embrace and cradle your soul. Be mystified but satisfied like the blackness of a black hole. I nod my head in unison with my main moon man, letting him know I hear his flow and fully understand. While flying stars never crash on Mars in their journey to be free, they'd rather die, and so would I. It means that much, you see. I look around and give a pound to my interstellar friend, throw on my hat and tilt it back to start my journey again. Cause there's only one place in that space that could ever hold my soul. Ask who am I, and the stars reply, son to the heavens, brother to the cosmos.
Ooh.
OG, Elder.
Hey.
Elder.
That's my guy.
Spin.
That's my guy.
Spin.
That's my guy.
Alright, that was the.
Hey, y'all, we're gonna sweep these floors. We're gonna clean these clippers. We're gonna run in here and get that bathroom.
Yeah, you know we got to double it up. Youngin did it last week.
He be too good now. We clean these bathrooms. In the words of Rita Lawson's son, Odabo Jack, the shop is closed.
Yo, that was dope.
We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random.